Hi guys, it's Dog here. Hope you're all doing well. It's a nice sunny day and I thought that I would do a product review of some nice gloves that I use. I've been having some really good feedback from everybody about my product reviews, so I figured I would just do a few more. I've done some Held Titans, I've done some Alpine Star Super Takar boots, I've done a couple of helmets, some of them I've got here, and I've got two in mind today. I mean, if you give me your feedback, I'll, take it into consideration and do one, for whatever you say. But I was thinking of doing my Dainese Full Metal Pros and maybe my Alpine Star racing suit. So this is Dainese's Full Metal Pro. It's the newest edition. I've been riding in them for about 5 months now. They're my favourite glove now, currently, actually. I know I did say that the Held Titans were, but I don't know, there's something about this glove that just gives it that edge when you're riding quick, that the feel and form and function of it is just it's just my favorite glove. I mean, I'm currently riding with Held Titans, these, and Alpine Star GP Pros. Now, although this one probably has the least protection overall than the other three gloves, it does have really good protection in key areas. It's lacking a bit in the wrist, like it's full leather here, but if I take this strap off, I mean, you can see how there is literally no protection there whatsoever. The only protection you get is for your ulna here, which is carbon. Yeah, I think that's carbon, and it's basically just bang on the point. It is perfectly positioned, but it's just not. It's not that high level of protection as compared to the Helds, or even the GP Pros with the PU plastic gauntlet that they have. But like I said, these are my favourite gloves, and I mean, I'll just give you an honest opinion of them. I'm not getting paid by anybody to say it. First of all, I'll go into the protection. I mean, with Dainese you can quite clearly see the protection, whereas with Held it's a little more, hidden. So you've got the carbon protection on the back of the hand with titanium composite put on top of it, and then they've, for just design purposes, they've lasered in their emblems with Dainese and the demon head. That gives a real nice feel. It's not too wide on the knuckles, as long as you get the right size. It's got a nice curve to it when you clench your fist. I've never had any problems with it, taking the skin off or being uncomfortable in any way, and I'm sure that it will do its job when you come down in a fall. And then it's got carbon on each of the knuckles. You can see there. That again should do its job when you fall. You've got, instead of a joint bridged pinky and ring finger, you've got this distortion control here, which is patented by Dainese, so you probably won't see it anywhere else on any other glove. But it's, instead of bridging the two, it's put a very, very hard piece. I think it's PU plastic here, and it's basically impossible to pull that finger any further than naturally would go. I quite like that, and also it adds a little bit more protection to coming down onto the side of the hand, which is always good. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. I've got to admit, these gloves, out of all my gloves, when I first put them on, I wanted to take them back because I'd been riding with the Held Titans and the Alpine Stars. I I felt that these were the most uncomfortable. So if you do get them and you find, I'm not liking the way that they feel. They feel too, especially with the gauntlet. When I put the gauntlet over my leather suit, I felt like it was too small. That it was pushing my glove up and then making my fingers have too much space in the fingers. But eventually, I'd say about 3 weeks in, when the leather had worn down, and I could actually mold it to my hand, it became the best feeling glove that I've ever had. The leather is just phenomenal. I mean, I know that Held has kangaroo leather, but the leather that Dainese uses is their thoroughbred Italian cows, where they don't, I've been told, don't use any barbed wire in the fields or the fences to keep them there, because they don't want it to nick the leather and then make the leather not as superb as it is here. So protection, again, on the palm of the hand, you've got a slider here that although it's not as good as Held's, it's not at all, and it's probably on par with the GP Pro for Alpine Star. But I've heard from a couple of people who design these types of gloves is that you won't get any use from that because you need two. Because if you don't have two sliders here, it basically means that one side of your hand will slide and the other will catch. Now, I don't know if Dainese have somehow managed to make this one work without two, but I've always been told that you need two in order for it to slide, like the Held Titans have. And with protection, that's about it, really. It doesn't have any more protection. It has no protection really in the thumb area. It doesn't have any protection for a gauntlet. It's just a leather strap gauntlet, like I said. So that's protection wise. I mean, you've got some absorbing foam just on the joint of the thumb, and that's it. So for riding features, you've got this, which I've found is brilliant. It's what it is it's tiny little follicles, like rubber follicles, that just grip to your handle that much more, and it gives you a fantastic feel for the acceleration and the vibes in the bike. And I highly recommend what they've done with that, and also it won't wear down. You know, it won't wear down as quickly as say just a standard leather palm would. They've got quite a lot of perforation in every single finger. I think it's 5 holes in every finger, so it really does flow air nice. It's got no perforation in the knuckles like say the GP Pro for Alpine Stars does, but I've never found that my hands get too hot in this glove ever. The benefits of not having such a big gauntlet, say like the Nox Handroids, that has quite a big gauntlet, is well, for one, it's a lot slimmer, and two, it just gives you more mobility. Again, that could mean that it gives you more mobility in the event of a crash, which is a bad thing. But as you'll see, if you watch anything like MotoGP or World Superbikes, a lot of their riders tend to pick a leather gauntlet as opposed to a plastic gauntlet that they can easily put on for them, but they don't have that. They prefer to have the leather because it gives them more feeling, and I would agree with that. There's not much else I can say about it. The Kevlar stitching is very nice. I've seen a few photos where people have said that it's come undone, but I think they were very early models, and they are all unique gloves. Again, when we talk about Kevlar, this glove is Kevlar lined. It's not as much as the Held Titans, but if you look down here, you should be able to see the yellow, which is Kevlar, and that Kevlar is lined all on the back of the hand, which should lead to very good abrasion resistance. I would rate these gloves as my favourite gloves so far. They're just so comfy, and I'll be sad when I have to get a new pair, to be honest, because they're just phenomenal. I mean, kudos to the racing team and Valentino Rossi, who helps design these gloves. I mean, maybe that is part of their draw, but I mean, if the guy is that good at racing, he should have an idea of what he wants his hands to feel like and what he wants them to be protected by. They've been proven with crash testings. I mean, if you look at 2 years ago with Jorge Lorenzo, when he crashed out, he dragged his whole hand under the bike, I think, for about 200 meters, and the knuckles were worn down to within an inch of their life. The whole distortion control saved his finger. The only injury that he got was, I think, a fingernail injury. That was it. I mean, when you look at other riders now that are like actually losing fingers with their gloves, like John Hopkins, for example, it's it's good to know that these are that protective. So yeah, I'd rate these as my favourite glove right now, and thanks for the review. I hope you enjoyed it, and give me any feedback of what products you'd like to see. I mean, I can do anything. If I've got it, I'll review it. I've got suits, I've got helmets, I've got gloves, I've got boots, lots of different types, anything you want. I've got inside protection with back protectors if you want, chest protectors, anything. Just name it and I'll see if I can review it. Alright, thanks guys.